pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Meinel, Geisling, Boardman,
Here.
Stacko, Hunter,
Here.
Watke,
Here.
Lechner.
Here. Moving on to approve the minutes of the August 18th, 2022. Everybody had the minutes in their packet, and they also have the minutes in front of them.
I move to be approved.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion on those minutes? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Next, we go on to the commission items. First, we have the Lauderdale Farms, owner Doug Olson, agent, west side of Hodges Road, south of County Road A. It's a certified survey map request. Everybody seen that in their packet? Everybody seen staff's recommendations? Anything different? No?
No, it's just, this does involve a rezoning that is pending, but it will have the county meeting approval before the council meeting. So this approval or recommendation would just be to have it conditioned upon, I guess, county approval prior to county council.
Make a motion
So moved.
to approve.
To approve Bonnie's recommendations.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Meinel, Geisling, Boardman,
Yes.
Stacko, Hunter,
Yes.
Watke,
Yes.
Lechner.
Yes. Motion passed for the Lauderdale Farms Certified Survey Map. Next, Walworth County Agricultural Society, John Tanis agent, south of existing horse barn, site plan and architectural review. There was that in the packet. And
Don't see John Tanis here, but basically they want to put up 2 additional horse barn type buildings. One is as big, a couple of years ago they put up one, it's gonna be very similar to that one, right next to it, actually. Same style building, and then the same colors, the white and green that they've always used. And then the other one is a smaller, outdoor, covered stall pavilion, they called it. And the location meets setback and everything for purposes. So I was recommending approval.
the only thing I seen was to go with the colors, correct, in your recommendation? Same colors and. Anybody like to make a motion?
I move to be approved.
With staff recommendations? Jim? Jim, with staff recommendations?
Right.
We have a motion and do we have a second? We have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Meinel, Geisling, Boardman,
Yes.
Stacko, Hunter,
Yes.
Watke,
Yes.
Lechner.
Yes. Motion passed for the Walworth County Agricultural Society Site Plan and Architectural Review. Next, we have the Harvest Point South HOA owner, Jesse Adams, 801 North Wisconsin, LLC applicant, attorney Ted Johnson, agent, part of outlet located behind Adams Electric. Ted, if you'd like to just come up and talk a little bit, and then I'll open the public hearing after that, and then we can talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. I'm Ted Johnson from Godfrey Law Office, from way across the street now. It's really nice. Yeah, we're here on behalf of the applicant, 801 North Wisconsin, which is Adams Electric. The entity that owns the building is 801 North Wisconsin LLC. We're here seeking approval of a a rezoning of a strip of land which is just east of or behind the Adams Electric building, which is actually part of Harvest Point South. It's an outlot. You really can't even see it from the road, but there's a grove of trees and on the west side of the trees, but the east side of the Adams building, there's been a strip of land there that they've been utilizing for quite some time and occupying with permission of them. And if memory serves me, I think the old Century people were using that strip of land as well. But anyway, we're here to rezone that strip because it's currently zoned as RS1, and we're looking to rezone it to B2, consistent with the Adams Electric building and property. And in addition, looking for approval of a CSM, which would essentially add this same strip of land to the 801 North Wisconsin LLC property and remove it from the Harvest Point outlot via a lot line adjustment, but we're doing it by CSM. We're under contract with Harvest Point to purchase that strip of land, contingent upon the rezone and certified survey map that we're here tonight. But again, it's really just hoping that we're just here to clean up the use and occupancy, make sure the property is zoned consistent with its use and how it's being occupied at this time. So I'd be happy to answer any questions about that. It's about a 8,000 square foot, so 2/10 of an acre strip, 30 by 270 or something like that. So
I'm gonna open public hearing, and if anybody does have any questions, we'll take care of that. So I'd like to open public hearing on the rezone and certified survey map for 801 North Wisconsin. Anybody here for public hearing? I'll ask a second time, is anybody here for public hearing? And I'll ask a third time, is anybody here for the public hearing? I do declare the public hearing closed for the Harvest Point South HOM, Jesse Adams, 801 North Wisconsin. So commission members have any questions? Or Bonnie, would you like to add anything? I know your recommendation was to approve.
No, I think Attorney Johnson summarized it very well. I had been approached actually by the HOA last year, I think it was, about this question about what would be the best way to take care of this issue, and it was concluded that this made more sense than continuously like granting them an easement to use the property or something like that. And they have to do the certified survey map because they're changing the boundaries of the subdivision in order to add the land to the Adams property. But yeah, I was recommending approval of the rezoning and the CSM.
Any questions, or do I have a motion?
Bonnie, is there any future ramifications of access or egress when that other part of Harvest Point is built out? I mean, I know you can't see in the future, but
I'm not sure what you mean by that, because this is kind of a, almost like a landlocked piece of property because it's behind the trees that are on the detention pond property owned by the association.
so you don't see any access from any housing development on the backside using something towards 12 or 67 there?
No, not at that location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other questions or discussion?
Based on Bonnie's recommendations, I would move for approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for approval. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Minell, Eastland, Thornton,
Yes.
Stackle, Hunter,
Yes.
Woodkey,
Yes.
Rechner.
Yes. Motion passed for the rezone and CSM. Thank you, Ted.
Thank you. Have a good evening, everyone.
You too. Next, we have the Boathouse of Lauderdale Lakes Real Estate LLC owner, Jackie Rumer, Eric Kohler applicant, 1950 North Wisconsin Street. The conditional use permit, public hearing, and recommendation. You guys have anything to add to what was in the packet or anything?
Nothing major, no. It's mostly kind of surrounding the new building that's being constructed that we talked about last year. So just trying to get all our ducks back in a row of where all the boats can sit.
Okay. I will open the public hearing for that now. So anybody here for public hearing on the Boathouse of Lauderdale, 1950 North Wisconsin Street? I will ask a second time, is anybody here for public hearing? And I'll ask a third time, is anybody here for public hearing? I now declare public hearing closed. So, Plan Commission members, Bonnie, would you?
Sure. Basically, this conditional use permit includes things that have already been approved, and it adds adds things. So we thought it would be best to put it all in one package, have one conditional use permit for all of the units that they're working with and own at this point. The only difference from what was originally approved is the first part where they have the boat display out in front along Highway 67. The original conditional use permit for that was only for 8 boats. They had asked for 12 at that time, but the plan commission and everybody decided that they only wanted 8. So now they're asking to increase that to 10. So 2 more boats out in front. And then they already had approval to have boats out in the way back by all those buildings they put up several years ago now. Now they're asking for approval to also have boats parked around those buildings in the common area and limited common area that they lease from the association, the condo association. And then also around, he mentioned the new building that they put up, which was for the, like boat preparation and that, to also have boats around that building and between that and the unit 3, which is the one out in front. So the only boats that would be in front by 67 would still be the same, now 10 boats displayed for sale. The rest of it would all be back behind all the buildings. That makes sense.
I think in your recommendation from April till October, is that what you had?
Some of these conditions are taken actually from the previous conditional use. So like where it talks about only to be in display between April 1st and October 1st, that was already in the original conditional use, and that retail sales are not permitted, and that they have to maintain the area, obviously, with grass cutting and trimming. Those were taken from the previous condition.
Can I ask a question? Yes. So retail sales are not permitted, I mean, obviously these boats are being displayed for sale, you're talking about something else. Can you just expand on that a little bit?
We went into this discussion quite a bit, I think, at the previous meeting about this, because the intent was that they are allowed to display the boats, but not to actually actively conduct sales on this property. They have another property up the road where they also.
That's where you'll send them up the road to,
Yeah,
We don't have like an actual salesperson there, like the service team that's there, they kind of just say, hey, yep, this is our operations center, and you'll go see a salesperson up the street, basically, that's kind of how they run it.
So I'd see it, I'd go up the road, I'd talk with somebody, I wanna buy that, hook up to a trailer and haul it away.
No, the boat would go to the marina on
Yep.
Lauderdale,
Yeah.
be shown there, like truly shown, and then there's an entire, closing process to buy it, would all happen at the Lauderdale Lakes facility.
And most
You
people
don't
actually,
conduct any sales on that property, right?
No unit sales of boats or motors or anything like that.
I just wanted to make sure it sounded consistent and looked consistent.
sure. Any other questions, plan commission members? We have a motion?
Make a motion to approve with recommendations from the staff.
Second, Jason. We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Minell, Geesland, Boardman,
Yes.
Stocko, Hunter,
Yes.
Watke,
Yes.
Lechner.
Yes. Motion passed for the conditional use permit for Boathouse at 1950 North Wisconsin. Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Next, we have St. Pat's Catholic Church owner, Tony Ballesteri, agent, 107 West Waller Street and 10 South Broad Street for a site plan, architectural review, and landscape plan. The applicants have anything to add to what we had in our packet?
I think everything is covered in our narrative, so if there are any questions, I'd be free to answer them, and so will
Sure.
different people with me.
Okay.
It would be towards the very end.
There are actually 2 requests. One for the addition, which is a little bit over 9,000 square feet, and the other for lot line adjustments on the corner lot.
Bonnie, what do you have to add?
Well, I don't know if everybody had an opportunity to look at the site plans and architectural drawings, but this is something that had been discussed, what, maybe 3-4 years ago, Tony?
Pardon?
About 3-4 years ago, this was discussed at a conceptual level. And so this part of the project is just to take down the Columbus Hall building, not the Trinity building, which is the one on the corner, that will remain. And then they're asking to actually physically connect this new addition to the addition that was also put on several years ago. And they're actually adding 5 or 6 parking spaces, which was a point of discussion at the previous meetings as well. And I wasn't aware of this until recently. They also acquired the parking lot behind the VFW building. So they have another, I think it's about 15 spaces there. So the parking situation for the church, their meeting rooms and all that is improving. This building would just be also for meeting rooms. It would be a 2-story addition with the connection to the existing meeting room building. So.
Your recommendation is to,
Right, and Naomi had looked at it, and that her recommendations were in your packet, so that should also be part of any motion that we made. There was just a few minor items that she had in there that aren't anything, I don't think, that require plan amendments, because this is in a downtown site where they're actually allowed to have 100% impervious surface coverage, and there's really no requirements for stormwater detention or anything like that.
Plan Commission members, any questions? Have a motion?
Make a motion to approve with recommendations from staff and Naomi's recommendations, engineering.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any other further questions or discussion? Roll call, please.
Minell, Geisler, Boardman,
Yes.
Stocko, Hunter,
Yes.
Watke,
Yes,
Lechner.
Yes. Motion passed for the site plan, architectural review, and landscape plan with staff recommendations and Naomi's recommendations for 107 West Water Street and 10 South Broad. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have general discussion items, which we have none. And is there any updates on anything?
A few, of the projects that have recently been approved, you may have been wondering about why nothing's happening with them. And I wonder the same thing about a couple of them, like the Dunkin' Donuts at the mobile station. That was all approved, but we haven't heard anything or received any plans about why they haven't done anything. The restaurant, what was formerly called the Waddling Goose, they just finally came forward with plans for the shell of the building. As you might recall, I don't know how many months ago it was, Mark and Emily came to you, and they explained that they were just going to want to build the shell of the building because they didn't have an end user yet, because their financing for the restaurant had fallen through. So that you might see something starting over there. The taco, the question?
they were starting dating. I saw a backhoe in that area today. I don't know if that was for this.
Well, they may already, do you know, Sherry, if Joe issued that permit?
I think he issued a start.
Okay. That would be for like foundation work, on that. And then the Taco Bell, we just received their updated plans about a week ago, and Naomi's working on getting a final approval for that. So that should be starting. I think the Starbucks, they also have submitted for building plans, so that should be starting. Other than that, for approved projects, was there any other questions Plan Commission members might have, or?
Yeah. Lonnie, has anything been done with the liquor store that's going out on 12?
Oh, yes, they actually submitted for approval as well, and I think Joe's working on that. Yeah, finally. Yeah, that one took a while too. Yeah, yeah, the one up by the mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's been a year and a half.
Yeah. And I think Belin's,
Is there any other licenses left?
my understanding is no. not for that type of business, correct? I've seen a lot of emails going back and forth about the Belinsky, and I don't know if, Adam, have they said if they're gonna start this year?
Yeah, they're planning on starting hopefully. They were gonna try and start in October, but I know, they said they were still working on getting the financing finalized, so, we'll see if they actually end up moving forward, but we're circulating the development agreement for signatures right now, so.
Done, we just
Yeah.
need their signature.
Right, yeah. The mayor signed it, we're waiting for them to sign it.
No, we will have a couple of big items on the November 3rd meeting, so plan on being here, please.
I'm not sure if Plan Commission members know, but Bonnie is leaving us at the end of this month. And Allison, next to Carl and her, will be taking over, so I'm not sure if anybody.
You push it back, so she's got to deal with it.
The big agenda, yeah.
I'm gonna help her,
Old fast, right?
I'm gonna help her put it all together for that meeting. I'll make sure of that, but, no, I'm happy to, Allison is gonna do a great job. She's been doing our code enforcement here for a while, and she's a go-getter and a very smart lady, and she'll do a great job.
Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Bonnie, for everything you've done in the city past
Thank you.
many years, so.
Pleasure.
So do we have a meeting for October 20th next?
No.
No meeting for October 20th? Okay, so the next meeting will be November 3rd. So supposedly that's gonna be a big agenda, so plan on that, guys. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.